Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and David Doucette Golf. So it turns out that this is the hottest putter, the one that everybody is buzzing about right now. This is a L.A.B DF3, but back in February, when I was working at Riviera Country Club at one of the PGA Tour events there, this is the putter that I thought everybody was going to be talking about. This is a Broomstick L.A.B Mezz 1 Max, and I was convinced this is going to be the putter that everybody was going to be talking about. And obviously, I was dead wrong. So while I was in Los Angeles that week, I watched guy after guy make putt after putt using one of these Broomstick putters, including Will Zalatoris, who often struggles with his putting, and it got me to thinking, how do you know that you might be a candidate for a Broomstick style putter? How do these things work, and what are going to be its strengths and weaknesses? So in this video, I'm going to try and explain all that for you. So obviously a Broomstick style putter is going to be significantly longer than a traditional length putter, and that's going to do a couple of things. Firstly, it's going to put you in a much more upright position than you would be if you were standing over a putt with a 33, a 34, or a 35-inch putter, a traditional length putter. So you're going to be standing much more upright here. So right away, if you're a player who has had back trouble in the past, if you're somebody who finds it really challenging or painful to have a long putting practice session, a Broomstick style putter might make it a little bit easier for you to spend more time working on your putting, because it's going to probably put a lot less strain on your back. And one of the biggest questions that I had when I talked to Sam Hahn, who is the CEO of L.A.B Golf, is how the hell do you actually hold a Broomstick style putter? What's the right way to do this? And he explained to me there really is no right or wrong way. It takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation when it comes to putting with a Broomstick style putter. But he found most players tended to do well when they would put their thumb on the very top of the putter and basically hold it almost like you were going to have some kind of a push button mechanism up here. So when I get into that position here and I put my left hand at the top of the putter and I put my right hand down, I've got some choices. I can go into a claw style grip. I can go into a grip sort of like you would hold a cigar. For me, I found a lot of times putting my index finger down the putter seemed to be something I instinctively did, but what more often than not seems to be working for me is actually putting my right hand down so it is going parallel, or it's aligned up with the face, so that I can sort of make a pushing style motion here. And that's something that's actually really important. About a year ago, when he was asked about his Broomstick style putter, Lucas Glover, who's won a couple times now on the PGA Tour using a putter like this, basically said the same thing. He said, the other one obviously wasn't working. I've been struggling with short putts for so long. I just thought I needed to teach myself something else to do. It's been working. So Glover is basically echoing the same things that Sam told me at Riviera, which is basically, don't think of this as a putter. Think of this as an implement to get the ball rolling on the green. And that sort of brings me to my second point when it comes to putters like this, Broomstick style putters. How do you know that you're someone who might get something out of this, or who are the candidates for getting into a Broomstick style putter? If you've been working on your putting for a long time, you've been trying out different putting methods, different grips, you put different clubs in your bag, you've worked with a PGA of America professional and had some lessons and just nothing is working, then maybe what it comes down to is you need to actually learn a different skill. You see, green reading can translate, and having a good judge of speed, the required speed and the force you need to get the ball rolling to the hole, that can translate. But if it's gotten so much in your head, if you're creating so much anxiety on the greens that you're incapable of making a good putting stroke, if short putts, 4, 5, 6, 7 foot putts just create so much anxiety that you miss them all the time, going with an alternative method, learning a new skill, might actually help you relax. It might help you to get a little bit better performance. Obviously, it's going to take some time and some work to get used to exactly what this method is going to be about, but if it can decouple the anxiety that goes with making short putts, it might be worth it. The other golfers who I think could be a prime candidate for a Broomstick style putter are players who get excessively wristy, somebody who gets a little bit flippy with their putting stroke and uses too much hand motion. When you set up in a position like this, you're really not able to use any wrist or hand in your stroke. You're really trying to take all of that right out of the equation. It can certainly seem to work. Now, like the DF3 putter, the Mezz 1 Max putter that I have right here is going to be lie angle balanced. And if you're not familiar with lie angle balance and what it really does, let me explain it for you. Lie angle balance means that the face of this putter, when I sort of spin it around, you can sort of see it is balanced in such a way where the toe goes up in the air. And all of these weights that you can see down here, along with the balance of this putter, make it so that the face of the putter wants to stay square to the arc of my putting stroke throughout my stroke, regardless of whether it is straight back, straight through, or is an arc stroke. The way that this putter is balanced is it wants to keep the hitting face right here, the surface right here, square to that path. And that's going to make it a lot easier to have square to path position at the moment of impact. So when I strike the ball, I should be able to much more often have the face pointed directly down my intended target line. That's going to be the real key to lie angle balance, and it's in both the Mezz 1 Max that I have right here as well as the DF3. Now, what is going to be absolutely critical in order to get the most out of a broomstick style putter, or really any putter that you get, is going to be getting custom fit. You have to make sure that the length of this is appropriate for you, that the lie angle is going to be appropriate for you. So it's going to be really important that you get custom fit for this and work with a good fitter. You can go up onto the L.A.B website and get properly fit for this with an online fitting. By sending in some video to the company, they will then send a putter to you that should fit. But I got to tell you, I think having somebody work with you in a putting studio or at a good pro shop where they can measure different things out, where you can try these putters for yourself, is going to be absolutely critical. I don't know that I would buy a putter like this any other way, because just for me, I want to have the hands-on experience of knowing what the different lengths are going to feel like, understanding exactly what position my body's getting put into. If you're going to make a commitment to a broomstick style putter, you want to make sure that this putter is absolutely perfect for your body and for the stroke you're trying to make. Okay, so all that sounds great. So what are the downsides of a broomstick putter? Well, for me personally, it's putts exactly like this one. The longer the putt for me, the harder it was to gain a real sense of my distance control and to get a feel for exactly how much force I need to put into the ball. And I found I came up short quite often when I'm using this putter. Get there, almost. It feels like I've really got to rock back and forth quite a bit. Now this is a pretty good uphill putt, but it's just such a different motion for me that getting a feel for exactly how much force I need to put into this with this type of motion is a little bit tricky. That's gonna be short. And that's the inconsistency that right now I have a challenge with. Now, comparing a Mezz 1 Max in a broomstick style to a traditional length putter length in the DF3, to me, is really night and day. And this is one of the reasons why I think, for me personally, a broomstick style putter is probably not going to be my best option. See, when I put a DF3 down, it feels like the putter just wants to lock in and stay locked in to the lie angle and basically to the setup that I've got. When I get into position and I've got the Mezz 1 Max broomstick style putter here, it still to me feels so far away that I'm getting a lot more movement in the putter head. It feels like, and I think this is part of this is because you're standing so much more upright, that the putter is going to wiggle a lot more, whereas when I'm down in my regular putting position here, this to me feels like it's locked in. And then it comes back to distance control. For me, having a traditional length like this rather than the broomstick gives me a feeling like I'm going to have a better sense of distance control. Almost, but at least I got it there. Let's try it again. Again, I'm right at the hole on each one of these putts, and I feel a lot more confident. Like that. So to wrap it up, I think that a broomstick style putter could be a really good option, a very interesting option for players of a very specific type. Players who, if they have a back trouble and they have a challenge getting into and practicing for a prolonged period of time with a traditional length putter, obviously a putter like this is going to put you in a much more upright position. I think that player could benefit from a broomstick. Another type of player who could benefit from this is somebody who gets overly handsy or use too much hand and wrist motion in their putting, and therefore it leads to a lot of inconsistency. Going with a broomstick style putter is basically taking your hands and your wrist completely out of the putting stroke. I think other players that might benefit from a putter like this are golfers who really have struggled with all types of traditional length putters, putting methods, grips. They've developed a lot of anxiety, especially over short putts. Something like this is going to create a totally new sensation. It's a totally new method, and it could definitely be worth a try because a new skill will probably come with less hang-ups. So with all that said, am I looking to potentially put a broomstick style putter into my bag? No, I'm not. I think the challenge for me personally using these with regard to distance control would be a problem. I also find that putting is one of the strengths of my game. I'm not really looking to change the method. I have a lot of confidence actually over the last year or two in my putting. I've made a fair number of putts. So I don't have a big anxiety or big hang up with it. I don't tend to be excessively risky. I'm really not ticking the boxes for somebody who could benefit from this. But I think there are a lot of players out there who could benefit from a broomstick style putter, specifically a Mezz 1 Max with the lie angle balance technology. It's a very compelling, very interesting story. If you've got one of these in your bag, I really want to hear about it. I would love to hear some of the backstories on what got different golfers out there into a broomstick style putter, how you found out the proper fit for yourself, and then what grips, how do you position your hands on the putter? How do you hold this putter in order to get the consistency you're obviously going to want? Look, if you got some really good information out of this, if you got something from this video, it would really be fantastic if you would smash that like button, as well as either leave a comment, which I can hopefully try and answer for you, and hit that subscribe button. It helps my channel out a lot. I do try and monitor my comment area and answer as many questions for people as I possibly can with regard to either broomstick style putters, L.A.B putters, any type of putter you want or any piece of golf equipment. I'm here to help you out. So thanks very much, and I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon.